Hello and welcome back to Screenplay Sunday. We take a bunch of randoms each week and we have a script that one of us writes. Today we have special guest Tully Smyth from Too Much Tully, the podcast. Welcome, Tully.
Thanks so much for having me, Josh. I'm so excited to be here.
No, thank you. Have you ever auditioned or been part of a show where you've acted?
I have. I've been offered a role in Home and Away 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And then what happened?
I said no each time. I said no each time.
She acted.
Well, when you do modelling, sometimes they'll send you to castings and you don't really know what you're going in for. You just get sort of sent a time and a place. And quite often you'd rock up thinking you're going to go for some kind of fashiony modelling job and it's a TVC or it's for a show and they don't give you any pre-warning. So you rock up and you're sitting in this waiting room with actual actors and you're there with no acting experience, not wanting to be an actor, but I guess they want, attractive people on these shows. Not that I'm attractive, but you know what I mean. So I just sort of slipped and fell into auditioning for this role in Home and Away. And then I just kept getting through the audition rounds. And they're like, hey, we'd love you to do the show. And I was like, wait, I'm still in school. I don't want to, what? No, I don't want to be in Home and Away.
I'm confused. So they asked you to go on Home and Away and you just somehow slipped through the audition rounds. What do you mean?
They send a casting call to, I guess, both acting and modelling agencies. And they're looking for, say, 5'10", blonde, beachy looking girl or whatever. And then both acting and modelling agencies send people that are appropriate or that fit the bill. And then it goes from there. I mean, a lot of models turn into actors. And I mean, Home and Away doesn't really require a whole lot of skill or talent, does it?
I don't know. Well, you do on Screenplay Sunday.
On the job.
And so, no, I get it. And so, it was my job today to write the script. Each week, GB has an exciting bit of industry knowledge, a fact. GB, what is it today?
Just to get us pumped up. Well, last week, speaking of Home and Away, it was Bo Brady's birthday, so happy birthday again, Bo. But this week,
he was so hot.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was only on Home and Away till 2004, but somehow I still remember the name.
Mm-hmm. He was once engaged to Beck Hewitt, wasn't he?
Oh, it's a good fact.
Come on, George.
It's true.
Yeah, it is a good fact.
Pretty sure he was. And then
it's
she
Peter
left him
Boyle's. Yeah, true.
Who's Peter Boyle?
It's Peter Boyle's birthday. Does anyone know who Peter Boyle is?
No.
Susan's brother?
Didn't even
No,
know.
he was he was known for playing
very old.
Delayed response.
He was known for playing Frank in Everybody Loves Raymond. But he did die in 2006. So
Wait, is Frank the brother or the dad?
I think he was the dad.
You don't even know your own trivia?
Actually,
Yeah, well,
can I?
He is, the dad.
Yes,
Imagine
Grace.
having a last name called Boyle. Like,
No.
I don't mind Boyle.
What's wrong with the last name Boyle?
I'm assuming it's
Isn't that like
Boyle.
Like a
Like
boil on your foot.
B-O-Y-A-L.
Yeah, like
A lesion.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
what-
I mean, your last name
Yeah.
Lesion's not great, but it's.
Hang
no,
on,
but
George,
like,
did
that's
you
what a
say it's
boil is,
B-O-Y-A-L?
like a boil is.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Boyle?
B-O-Y-L-E? I think it's B-O-Y-L-E.
Oh, really? Oh,
This
well,
is riveting
must have written
content,
it down
guys.
wrong.
Is this what happens this Sunday? Or?
Can I have a bit of Screenplay Sunday?
go, Grace.
Here we go, you got a
industry
rescue.
fact? Well, it's not really a fact, but our inspiration, I guess, for this, Aaron Sorkin is bringing out a new episode of The West Wing.
Oh, that's
It's
very exciting. That's a
That's
very
bringing
good
it
fact.
live on
That's a very good fact.
HBO.
on HBO tonight, and it's all about voting and why people should vote.
Oh, that's great.
That's
so
a great
Aaron
fact.
Sorkin, he did
Yeah.
the masterclass on screenwriting, which inspired GB and I to create Screenplay Sunday. So thank you,
Famous
Aaron.
screenplay writer.
And as another benchmark that we do, it's a divorce of interest. In the year 2000, Demi Moore divorced Bruce Willis after 13 years of marriage.
That's a
Wow.
great
And yet
Day,
they're
so-
still so close that they are isolated together during COVID quarantine with
Did they?
all 75 of their children. They did.
Who's Ashton with nowadays?
Miller?
Miller.
His first
Yeah.
love. His first love. They fell in love on the set of that 70s show. I should really just come on and do the trivia every week. I think.
Yeah, you should.
That would be good.
That'd be good.
And
Much
so,
better at it than GB.
so I've put together the script. You all have it. You haven't read it yet. The title of today's script is called Going to Bendigo. We normally have a bit of a segment where we say, what do you think the premise is? We'll start with you, Jess. What do you think the premise of going to Bendigo is?
We're going to Bendigo.
Well, she's already read it, so
I hope you
haven't
haven't.
read it. I haven't. I
Okay.
skimmed it. All right. No, we're going to maybe like Gold Rush. Are we going to go uncover some gold, like leftover
that's
from the
good.
Gold Rush?
That's a good one. Grace, what do you think?
It's like a work trip.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
think-
sure.
People, work trip kind of vibe to Bendigo.
Tully, what do you think?
Well, obviously Jess is from Bendigo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming this is an ode to Jess or Jess's hometown in some regard.
Great. Sevs?
well, I reckon there was the discussion of a merch drop at a festival in Bendigo. I think Jess mentioned that to Josh, so that's something. But then there's
Wait,
also,
what?
and
Was
there's
that the actual
also
case? I can barely remember that fucking conversation.
there's also potentially local PR because Jess mentioned
Yeah.
your sister was on the front cover of the Bendigo.
Advertiser.
Times.
Yeah,
It's a good guess, GB. And GB, what do you think the premise is?
Going to Bendigo. I don't know why they're going there, but I reckon there's going to be a car accident on the way.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
no.
Is
Lots
Mason
of
driving?
traffic.
Really dark. Really dark.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Lots of traffic.
to give you from a character perspective, this is the first time that we have people playing themselves, and that's how high
Wow.
profile Tully and Jess are.
Do you know
I
what's
was
really
one of the
funny?
first. Thank
Is
you
it
very
when
much.
people ask me, and I get asked a lot why I don't go into acting, like why aren't you on Home and Away? Why don't you do Neighbours? And my response is always that I feel like my personality is so strong that I couldn't possibly play another character because it would just the Tully would come through and like rear its ugly head. So I think it's funny that you've let me play myself.
And so yes, you're playing Tully. Jess, you're playing Jess. GB, you are the traffic reporter.
Right.
Wendy.
Give it a roll. Give it a roll.
Wendy is Grace. Dale is Sevs.
Again,
With the
okay.
accent?
And
With or without the
with the
accent this
with the
time?
accent.
Not the accent.
And then Tim will be played by George. Sam will be played by me.
oh my god, so many
Lots of
names.
characters. I need to write this down.
And
Wow, big print.
the big print will be Mason. And so
Mason's got three
I'm
characters.
Dale and Big Print.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's a big acting challenge for you, Mace.
Dale.
And so the thing is, I would like to say that one of the issues with Final Draft, the screenwriting software, it doesn't do a great job of on-the-fly spell check stuff. And so if there is any errors, like normally I'm so pedantic and great with this stuff, but there might be just some really obvious spelling errors because I spent 45 minutes writing this before the show. But with that...
You wrote this this morning.
I wrote it an hour ago. I finished
Right.
it 15 minutes ago.
Was I Sam or Tim?
also-
I've forgotten.
You are Tim.
Also, don't blame me if the Big Print has a British accent. Or
No, you can't be doing the
No.
big print in
That's
British.
the
accent.
whole
Gotta go
acting
in and out of
challenge. You need to-
character.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And any questions?
no.
Okay, great. Well, welcome to the table read. Over to you, Big Print Mace.
Going to Bendigo, written by Josh Janssen, based on, if any, PO Box 400 Abbotsford, Victoria 3067, Josh at Big Media Company. Interior, Jess's car, day. Jess is driving with Tully in the passenger seat. The car is full with podcast merchandise and snacks. The traffic report is on the radio.
Looking for something fun to do today? The Bendigo Easter Fair is one of Australia's longest running community events, which celebrates its 150th year today. Get your tickets at bendigoeasterfestival.org.au. I'm Simon, in the traffic controller for Mix 1011.
Have you got all the posters?
Posters, check. Sharpies, check.
PA system?
That'll be on site. I need to speak with the guy named Jeff at the gate.
Exterior, Bendigo Main Street, day. Wendy and Dale walk along the main street in Bendigo, eating corn dogs at the festival.
Did you hear the news?
Which news?
Tully and Jess from Too Much Tully will be doing a live recording at 1 p.m. right next to the showback stand.
But I want to see Peter Hitchener from 9 News at the petting zoo at 1 p.m.
Dale, you know that Tully is my favourite podcaster. Can you at least do something for me for once?
Okay, I do love them too. We should get to the stage early though. I don't want shit seats.
Well, it's 12:15, so let's finish these dogs and make our way there.
Interior, Jess's car, day. Tully and Jess sit in traffic.
I'm worried that we might be late.
What do you mean?
GPS has us arriving at 1 p.m. on the dot, but we need to be going live by then.
Oh, this isn't something that I wanted to hear.
Tully, I told you that we shouldn't have stopped for KFC. That added an extra half an hour to this trip.
Yeah, I should have just starved instead.
Okay. Well, this is the biggest live event we've ever had, so try and act happy.
How?
Pretend that you've just been told the secret herbs and spices.
Tully gives a big grin.
Great.
Want to know what they are?
What?
The secret herbs and spices.
Tully and Jess laugh as the camera moves from inside the car to a fast-paced bird's eye view, zooming over the traffic back to the festival. Exterior, festival backstage, day. Oh, Tim, an aggressive festival manager, is pacing.
Where the fuck are they?
Sorry, Tim. I've tried calling Jess and she's not picking up the phone.
This festival will live or die based on this live podcast. Where are they? I am pissed off.
Exterior, front of stage, day. Wendy and Dale sit on a stack of hay.
Oh, not long now.
Dale looks at his watch. The time says 12:55. I'm surprised there isn't a support act. I think I'm getting burnt, by the way.
You just put sunscreen on.
I think I missed my nose. Dale adds a thick green zinc to his nose. Interior, Jess's car, day. 1:01 appears on the car dash clock.
Move over, you idiots.
I told you. Get into the emergency lane.
I don't have any points left to lose.
You know I'd take the fine if I had the points.
Well, that's not happening, is it?
Jess's phone rings. It's Tim. Exterior, festival backstage, day.
Jessica, it's Tim from the Bendigo Easter Festival.
Hi, Tim.
Tully raises her eyebrows. Brows?
Just stop. Eyebrows.
Tully raises her eyebrows at Jess, looking concerned.
We are 5 minutes away from a ruined festival, and you're up 2 minutes, and you're up 2 minutes away from losing any chance at getting your drink cards.
Interior, Jess's car. Tully is listening in on loudspeaker. She's not happy.
I beg your pardon, Tim. No drink card equals no show. Be careful what you say.
Oh, I didn't realise you were there, Tully. I wanted to live that one again. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realise you were there, Tully. Okay, yes, I know. The traffic is bad. Just get here as soon as possible. We have all of the newspaper photographers here waiting.
Exterior, Bendigo Main Street. 1:15 on the big Bendigo Main Street clock. Sam is on the stage. There's a huge crowd.
Introducing the dynamic duo from Too Much Tully. Make some noise for Tully Smyth and Jess Lucas.
Wendy jumps up off her hay seat.
TMT, you're dynamite. We love you, girls.
Woo! Oh, Tully smiles and points at Wendy and Dale. As she walks past Sam, she whispers into his ear.
Where are those fucking drink cards?
Jess winks at Tully like a boss and they both take a seat.
Welcome to Too Much Tully.
Thanks for having us, Bendigo.
Fade to black.
Really good, JJ.
That's great.
There's a lot of... There's
a lot
wrong
of
yours. I spelt sight.
All I'm going to say
yeah,
is,
look, there's
Jess, like, maybe don't quit your day job. It's really You really weren't giving me much. I feel like I was giving you a lot and I wasn't receiving it in return.
Look, Jess is very sensitive about all Screenplay Sunday stuff.
Why does it take you 5 minutes to read your line? Like, why do you pause so long?
What do you mean?
You want to have a flow of a natural conversation and you're like,
I know.
yes,
My bad.
it is, you are right.
It sounds like we're
It's
still
just a
in the
table
script.
read.
This is not part of the script, guys. This is a good scene. This is a good scene. What did everyone think? GB, starting with you as the co-writer, what's your
Really
first
good.
thoughts?
Really good. Yeah, I mean, it was a great scene. Did it finish just at the start? Yeah, finished at the start of their show, right?
So
Yep.
it sort of did I did a little bit of sort of playing around with time. So it was sort of welcome to Too Much Tully, and then it sort of
Then I like that.
shifts to like it's the end. Thanks for having us, Bendigo.
Bendigo.
Potentially there was the need for something more dramatic at the end to actually happen, but I was just
something more
enjoying the
cathartic.
characters.
It's a scene.
Yeah, I was just enjoying the characters interacting.
It was really good. I think it was believable. It sounds like a conversation that Jess and Tully would have on the way to a show.
First of all, I would be driving. There's no way I'm letting her drive the car. And we would never be late because I would be driving. The KFC part was very, very believable. That was some method acting from me
You've
there.
already accounted for that.
Yeah, sure.
Legit.
Any other thoughts?
Big
or
Bryn and
GB
accent.
was great.
Yeah, GB was
Thank
very
Yeah,
you.
you were
I
great.
was-
I really liked your characters, JB.
You were
You
great
really
wasn't
too,
great as
Grace.
Tim.
Grace, you were the
thanks,
most
Tully.
natural, if you ask me. You
Yeah.
really gave it your all.
Thank you.
Yeah, Grace. I mean, Grace has always been. Have you always been Wendy? Outside of Tony being Wendy, I think
Yeah,
that
I've
you've
always
played
been
Wendy for
Wendy.
Yeah.
most. Jess
I feel like I'm getting
did.
to know her.
Jess, you did have a convo with me earlier in the week saying, "Hey, can I be Wendy?"
Sorry, Jess.
But I've
Fine.
given
I just
you.
thought we needed to give her a
Are we
bit more.
boxing for it?
Yeah, there will be a fight.
Like Dale has been played by multiple people. I just feel like Wendy
Mm-hmm.
needs an injection of other characters, but apparently, according to Tully, I don't bring much to my roles anymore.
Jeez.
As
So
if you're
maybe
taking
I
it
don't
seriously,
deserve
some
it.
of us are. That's all I'm saying.
What's the story behind the traffic? It feels like an in-joke.
No, well, I think that so. On Thursday, I went for a walk with Jess, and she was complaining about the traffic, and I just felt like it was the first thing that I wrote in the dialogue was the traffic chopper, because I remember, in radio, I always loved the traffic reporters. I just thought was such a weird job, and that was like a thing. And do you know, like, there's a company that paid it's something like $100 million to the radio networks to put traffic on the station. So the traffic people actually pay the radio stations, because then they get that little spot where they say it's brought to you by the Bendigo Festival or whatever. And so they're basically like buying ad spots. I just always thought it was an interesting industry when there is Google Maps.
Yeah. And so
You know, Bendigo has
this-
their own.
Well,
No
also
one
not
checks
live.
Google Maps for the
I guess like
traffic.
time. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have, if you're going somewhere that's more than
Yeah, but
half
if
an hour
you're
away?
doing the same route you always do, for instance, the commute to and from
Mm-hmm.
work, you don't have a Google Maps on. You listen to the radio.
Yeah, but you
I
can see the traffic.
I like having
don't
Google
turn-
Maps on. I mean, I haven't
That's
driven.
just chewing your data and everything else. Your battery.
What do
It's
you?
just a
What
waste
sort of
battery
data are
power.
you on prepaid? When's data been an issue nowadays?
Have we met? Do you think I'm on prepaid?
$10 a gig.
I know, but I find it funny that you're you hear people.
It's
no
more my
credit.
battery. It's more my battery. I'm worried
Sure.
about. To be fair.
And there-
so
Yeah, Jerry.
yeah, go on. Sorry, Josh. No, go on.
I was literally just going to say, could you plug it into USB? It was probably a necessary comment.
Conversation died.
Well, yeah, you
Plug it
would. You
in.
would have. I mean, Tully,
Put it on
in your
power.
new car, you would have. Have you got like a CarPlay or anything in your
Oh
car?
yeah, Apple Play. But I'm listening to
Uh-huh.
podcasts.
Mhm,
Obviously.
No, I get it.
Guys.
That's got to be
We
more
can have
data,
both.
surely.
You can, yeah.
More done.
Why can't we have both?
Yeah, very true.
So Simon, the history of Simon is interesting, because he worked at the bowling alley. Oh no, he didn't. No, that was a script that didn't make it in.
Yeah.
Last
He
week.
worked
Never
at
made it.
the
He worked at the
news
lottery.
agency. Yeah.
No,
That's what it is.
Did he,
Simon.
no, he,
no,
Simon was the one who thought he won, but he didn't win because Dale.
I'm
Oh,
sad that it was so
okay.
quick. I was
He's the
ready for.
junkie.
I was getting into that character. I was really
Was he a
ready to go.
junkie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Where do you wanna
Simon's.
take it? next
Simon
week,
wasn't a
Tully.
junkie.
Yeah, what would you like to see, Tully? Like, if you look at sort of this theme,
Is
where
someone else be playing me? I don't know if I'm down for someone else to play me.
No, I think that we move. I think that this was just a moment in time. This is a scene. It's really a story about Dale and Wendy and all of the and sort of bringing in different characters to enable getting to know those characters. And so I like the idea, Tully, of whenever we get you on, if you were to come back in say a few months, a few weeks, whenever, next week, we could include you into the script. I think that it makes sense to always have you playing yourself.
Okay, sure. I mean, I do have the ability to play other characters, but I'm also happy to play myself.
Are you fighting for Wendy as well? Because it feels like there's a lot of tension around.
I feel like I was really getgetting into that, and I just feel like it ended too soon. No,
You
Wendy's
literally
great.
just said that you can't play other characters on Home and Away.
Well, maybe I forgot that I actually quite enjoyed. I was really getting into that. I was enjoying
It
it.
was great.
You were
Really
playing
fun.
yourself though. But so I think fair feedback. So Jess, how are you feeling? You've been slammed previously on Screenplay Sunday because Jess wrote a script once.
Oh, wow.
Which was great. It was actually really good.
It was a good script.
It was a really good script. But Jess,
Just a
I was
couple
one
of
of the
errors like
first to
this
bring
one.
in like more dialogue into the scripts, so I feel like we've taken, it's a not all of the scripts
That's
post
true.
that have been a bit of a
Last
nod to
week,
mine.
Whitey was a great script, but very action heavy.
well, so
Scene.
a little interesting fact about how I wrote this script. I added no scene headings or action until the very end. So it was all dialogue, and then I just went back and inserted it. What have you got to say, Jess? I feel like you have something to
No,
say.
you've done well.
45
very
minutes,
well.
not bad, hey?
Yeah.
Is that a
Pretty good.
technique that you
Aaron
learned, or is that
Sorkin
a
would
Josh
be proud.
Janssen?
I think Aaron Sorkin actually said to do it that way, like just as a way of getting through. Like, well, because Aaron Sorkin, he
It'd
wrote.
be very
this-
tiring if you're writing a whole movie and you just go through at the very end of it.
Well,
after
I
you've
don't
got
think
about
that
100
that-
pages. and-
Referencing.
I think the idea is that you. So he wrote The Social Network, Tully, which is like very dialogue heavy, if you can remember that, or the Steve Jobs film as well.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I think I enjoy the character development. I enjoyed the dialogue, and I think there was some. I really enjoyed. Shout out to Grace for the TMT Your Dynamite. I was a bit worried
I was
that would
gonna
get
sing
lost.
it.
I think you nailed. You nailed
went
it.
over
I
my
was
head.
going to sing it as in it's like TNT.
Yeah,
but-
TMT
and- yeah, it was
Dynamite.
like
I think
Dynamite.
I think you
I don't
almost
have the
did.
voice for
Can
that.
we change our theme song, Tully?
Yeah, it's very good. A little parody. Okay, great.
Really good. What I loved as well, Josh, is they had a clear intention at the start, and
And an
even
obstacle
the-
as well.
the-
The traffic,
yeah,
the
the traffic, and the festival had an intention
KFC,
of putting on
so
this
many
great show,
obstacles.
and the festival's obstacle was the girls not turning up on time, which was really good.
yeah. But I
I'm
think
really
it would
glad
be.
that my alcoholism made it into the script. That's terrific.
Well,
as
if you
well.
were driving, you'd have to blow into one of those things before you
Yeah,
were allowed
before you-
to.
I
Start the
wouldn't
car.
be drinking and driving,
No, sure.
obviously.
What are those
if
things
I wanted to have
called?
a drink, then Jess would be driving me.
Breathalyzer.
Breathalyzers.
No. But what's
On
the
the
ones
car.
called?
Booze bus.
No. The ones where actually, I remember I did a
it
video
starts the
with like
car.
my old PE teacher, and he's like, "So, oh, mate, I'm gonna head off," and he's like, I'm like, "What are you blowing into?" I was like,
Interlock.
"Oh, I
It's
lost
an
my
interlock
license."
device.
Interlock
yeah.
device, yeah.
Have you ever had an interlock, Tully?
What?
I don't know.
Excuse me.
Just a fun.
I would never
I ask
drive
every
under
guest.
the influence. Ever.
You ask
ever,
every
ever.
Yeah. Everyone said no so far.
I don't even trust myself to drive after having, when you're allowed to have the one or two wines when you're on your full license. I don't even drive after that. If I've had one wine, I won't be driving a car.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, because it's
a
never
good
one wine
excuse.
with me.
What, to go hard or go home?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Then if you're Dezo, if like you're going with a friend, like, oh, I've had my one, I don't drive after one, which means you have to stop.
That's why I'm waiting for Mason to get his license, that he can be my Dezo.
Oh, that would be nice.
Surely you have nothing better to be doing right now than teaching him how to drive a car.
That's
No,
a
he
good
doesn't
idea.
want to drive at the moment.
Oh,
Where does he
really?
want to go?
Just too stressful. I mean, the thing is, I remember, so I got my license in Dandenong, but there were a bunch of people who would go out to Warragul because it was an easier easier
we did that.
way to get
We
your
had a
license?
similar situation. Yeah, there was we knew there was a suburb a few across that had like wider roads and like less roundabouts, and so everyone would go and get their license at that suburb.
It's so scary, isn't it? Because then it's like, oh yeah, I didn't have to go on the freeway. It's just like, what are you going to do? Like in real life, It's trying to change lanes. I mean, like I like the idea of, make it difficult. I didn't get my license the first time around. I was in the point that they were transitioning to a harder sort of license, and I got stuck up in that. But they asked me to turn right at the roundabout, and I was in the left lane at the time, and I left it too late and tried to get from the left to the right lane in the roundabout, and they said, "Hey, Josh, just pull over." And Dennis, my driving instructor, he knew what was happening.
We've seen enough.
Poor
Dennis.
Dennis.
I've had friends who have failed before they've even left. They've not stopped at the stop sign on the way out. It's
a classic, isn't it? Like I just remember
and the
being
guy's like, just turn around, buddy. You've just failed already. Like, oh shit.
I think my
I had
favorite.
another friend rocked up from a bender wearing no shoes, and they wouldn't let her drive the car.
That makes sense. I remember my favorite bit being the. I was told, now be very obvious about checking your mirrors before you get started. And so I would just do like real pantomime. Like I saw it as a bit of a performance, just like, just looking around and just, mirrors look good. All right. But then fucked it because I was too busy acting out the mirror scene and didn't think about turning right on the roundabout. You win some, you lose some.
I got mine on my 17th birthday.
Canberra boy.
Really?
Did the test. Yeah, did the test on my 17th birthday. I think the instructor must have been in a rush or something because it only took like 15, 20 minutes when it was meant to take longer. Pulled in, signed the thing, gave me, looked up, and he was already walking back to the office. Right? That's it then.
Maybe you just ooze big dick energy, George. Maybe you just looked like you knew what you were doing.
I think so, because then later that day I drove to school in the Citroen C3 with the windows down.
Oh, look at you.
You've got to air out that big dick.
Controlling, trying to get you right.
Thank you, everyone, for coming on Screenplay Sunday. I'm
Thanks
feeling
for
good
having
about
us.
how it's
you have
going.
fun?
Yeah, did you have fun, Tully?
Yeah, I did. I told you I'm devastated it's all over. I was
Yeah.
ready to keep scrolling, but that was it. 7
Yeah.
pages of pure gold, and we're done.
Yeah, well, we should do it again. Jess, how are you feeling? Are you having fun?
Yeah, heaps of fun. Loved it. Loved getting to see Tully's acting
Loved
skills.
it.
Grace, did you have fun?
I did. It's probably the highlight of my day.
Oh, that's good. That's what we want. That's what
Mace,
nice.
list what I have to do.
Zebs, did you have fun?
I did enjoy it. I do think I'm gonna have to do some work on the accent training.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was no.
It is-
I haven't heard an accent.
There was no
hear
accent,
it?
but
Yeah.
it's very difficult to switch in and out, especially when you've just gone from the big print in normal and then trying to enter into that other character.
Sure. I think you did a
We'll
great
do some
job on
practice.
big print.
No,
Any spelling mistakes though? So I was, because I hadn't read it
Couple.
through. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
site.
Tully's brows were
Spelling
Browse,
on
yeah.
site is SIGHT rather than
Oh, no.
SITE. That was a
yeah.
standard. There was a wrong your
Bit of
I
an
saw
oversight
as
there.
well.
I had a
not what
line
you
which I
want.
wasn't happy about. It
a bit clunky.
it made my delivery awful.
But I think that
it
if you
was-
actually read it, it
No, but
actually
I don't think it
reads-
makes sense.
Read it out.
It was the drinks
I
ticket
know
one.
the one. Yeah. Oh,
Drinks
okay.
ticket.
Yeah, there
Um,
was one.
I can't find it, but it
But
was.
I mean-
and you're up 2 minutes away from losing any chance of getting your drink cards.
Yeah, that was.
I think you
bad.
didn't need the up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
look,
thi-
some sentences were a little
Wait,
bit.
mate, you
clunky,
learn
but-
to speak and then you
speak first, and then I'll give you feedback. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a daily. So it's not the daily talk show. It's Screenplay Sunday. This is the problem, which is having so many bloody shows. I'm sure Eddie Maguire's doing that all the time. What's Eddie doing? Eddie wants to be a millionaire.
Come on.
All right.
Get it on.
Million. Great.
Million.
Right. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and keep on writing. And make sure you grab some sandwiches because otherwise they'll go to waste. Right.
And happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy birthday, Tully Smyth.
Happy birthday,
Is it today?
Happy birthday.
Sunday?
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
GB, you should have put that in the facts.
Sorry,
Been
that
the
would have been a great
fact.
fact.
Yeah.
If you did Home and Away, you would have been
Yeah.
on IMDb. Are you on?
Hang on, I have a famous star's birthday page. Just so you
Oh,
know.
that's
and I have
great.
And
Really?
I have a wiki feet page.
Oh,
A wiki
actually
feed
are-
page.
You are on IMDb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the Daily
for the
Talk
Daily
Show.
Talk Show.
yeah.
But also, I was in a short film that was in Chop Fest.
No.
I think that was in there too.
Yeah, she was.
She Sucks
She
Young
Sucks
Blood,
Young
is
Blood.
that it?
She's
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played a succubus.
a succubus. What's a succubus?
He actually wrote the part for me. I play a girlfriend who's actually a succubus who ends up killing my boyfriend. I eat his heart. I
Oh.
rip his heart out of his chest and I eat it.
Oh,
It
What
was
year
a
was
really,
that?
it's a far
Ooh,
stretch
okay.
for me as who I am personally. It was really hard for me to get into that character.
A horror comedy about the nature of modern love and literally stealing hearts. As one neurotic guy recounts his story of forced love, which goes from bad to bloody mess.
This is like what was the film that the lady from Schitt's Creek does in the film? The
Oh,
birds.
the crow
The crow.
in Bulgaria.
Yeah, that's right.
Something.
Oh, sorry, your microphone's just fine. This is time to go. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.